Hey everyone, this tutorial is going to cover a basic introduction to RunwayML, training custom datasets with StyleGAN2 models, as well as working with existing models in the RunwayML interface. So we're going to start this tutorial by navigating to our start menu if we've already downloaded Runway and launching the app. If you haven't already downloaded, I'll leave a download link in the description of this video. I also have it in several of my other videos, as well as on the glitch page. Once Runway is launched and you've logged into your account or created a new account, you'll see a few options on this home page. On the left, options to create your own model, and then you have quick actions to work with processing and exporting from existing models, and then browse models where you can navigate through existing models. But for now, we're going to focus on creating our own models with custom datasets. So if you click on create your own model, we're going to use the image option, which works with StyleGANs. You can name your model whatever you like, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to name it test1 and then click create. You're now given options to select a dataset. So for this, I can use the preloaded datasets that I've used in other sessions. So I have here preliminary set. It gives you information about this dataset. Since these are pre-trained models using transfer learning, it's not necessary to have 20,000 or 50,000 images, but generally the more images, the more detailed the exports of your model will be. So for the tutorial, I'm going to navigate to upload dataset. Here I have preliminary set, which is that folder we saw previously downloaded. Although it's not previewing here, I can open it up locally, and you can see some of the types of images that I have in here. So the key is for these StyleGAN models that have more focused qualities, and I'm augmenting that data by rotating each image. This way the StyleGAN has more images to read, and since these are photographs and the orientation doesn't necessarily matter, I don't necessarily care whether the image is upright or sideways, so the rotation shouldn't affect the output here. So if we go back here, we'll just select that folder again, click select folder. You'll see it's uploading, but for now I'm going to just cancel that and use the pre-uploaded folder here. So if you select that, it now highlights that data set. You see a thumbnail pop up here, and to the right you see an option to pre-process the data set. So if you click on pre-process, Runway has given you options to process the data. This allows you to crop to a consistent resolution, which allows the StyleGAN to read each image more consistently, and this allows for better training outputs in the end. Once you've pre-processed the data, you'll click next, and then it gives you options for which base model you would like to start from. So it tells you a little bit about what this is and asks what best describes your data set. However, one thing that's important to note is that each one of these base data sets actually has different resolution of outputs. So the faces is the highest resolution of outputs and is the most detailed data set in the StyleGAN training sets. However, if you know that your output is going to be within the object category or illustrations category, it may be in your best interest to start with those. So for now, I'm going to start with the faces. If you click on change, you can see several other pre-trained models that you can work from. These will actually include some of your own models that you've previously trained within RunwayML. So you can see here I have a few different options to use as a base for further StyleGAN2 training. So in terms of training steps, generally what you want is around 3,000 steps, but it depends on the model and it depends on how far your input data is from the base set. So for this instance, the base data set contains some photography of marine biology, which is pretty far from the base set of faces. So 3,000 is a good general number. You'll start to see it change at about 1,500 steps. Anything above 3,000 may or may not benefit the overall training output. Runway has included an estimated cost feature, so if you click on that, it will estimate the cost Once you hit start training, you'll be taken to this window. For the first few minutes, nothing will load here in the middle, but once the model starts training and you've gone through a few steps, it will pull up a progress window and show you some of the training process. You'll see that show up in this window in the middle here, and then on the right you have some other information, including the current state of your training, the FID score, where you want a lower score which shows the similarity between the generated outputs and your initial data in the input data set. Then it also gives you the progress in steps and the estimated time the training will complete. Once your training is finished, you can save your model to your My Models page and click to add the model to your workspace. You can see on this left tab I already have a few existing models added to my workspace, the last being the most recent trainings. Once your model is added to your workspace, you'll see it appear on this left tab here. On the top is your input sources, and on the bottom are output, either previews or you have an option to directly export. On the right, you'll have some information including checkpoints for your model. Network is to post this model to a web platform or for other uses outside of RunwayML. On the bottom right, you'll see options for run remotely and then also show advanced options. So I'm going to hide that and then select run remotely. You'll see it's starting up and it may take a few minutes to start up. Once the model is ready, you'll see a stop appear on the lower right hand corner. Then you can navigate to this input dropdown and select vector, and then this 2D grid will pop up. This will slowly populate with images from the latent space of your trained StyleGAN2. So if you zoom in, you can see a few of the outputs start to generate, and as you zoom out, you can see a wider array of the outputs generating. Thanks for watching. Check the links in the description for more resources on machine learning and RunwayML.